So today we're talking with Annick Butland, owner of AB Connect Travel and Tourism Services. Hi, Annick.
Hello, Natasha.
How are you today?
Good. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. So can you tell us a little bit more about what is AB Connect?
Certainly. AB Connect, I launched last year in 2019, but it's been after a couple years of planning and development. I have a background in tourism. I was fortunate enough to work at Hope Isle Rocks for several years, also at Fun Days Cape and Rage, and a little bit at Fun National Park, and grow my career that way. But there's been some gaps that I've noticed along the way. So the strong purpose of AB Connect was to connect the mom and pop shops, the smaller suppliers, with the bigger tour operators by helping them connect if they're not able to, and also to provide really great experiences for New Brunswick. So what I mean by that is that we've got some really great experiences, people that work hard, they have their businesses all set up, but they don't necessarily have the time or the knowledge or the web support or the capability to work with vouchers, work with online payments and all these things that are required by some of the bigger operators to be part of itineraries to be sold in the international markets. So AB Connect is able to package them. I work with the flexibility of the smaller operators, and then I work the template and the model that needs to be done to work on the other end. Some kind of the in-between person. On the second part, it also enables me to work with winter operators. New Brunswick's got a lot of things to offer, so it really helps us develop our 4 seasons, not just July and August that we
Yeah.
seem to be really full on. So I've worked with people that are already open for business to package some great experiences so that we have something to do 12 months a year. We have somebody coming up in November or March. There's still some great experiences to be had.
So I think for you, COVID-19 has been equaling or synonym of pivoting.
Yeah.
So how did you pivot, and how did you manage to pull a great summer off?
Yeah. Well, there's two parts to AB Connect as well. So I have that travel and packaging part that I just explained, but I also do consulting or use the skill sets that I have to help enhance any of the businesses that require that, or any projects that I'm able to jump on to really help New Brunswick as a whole and Atlantic Canada as a whole. So prior to COVID-19, I was doing some work in immigration with conferences, and of course the travel sector that I was working at. All three of those were completely impacted by COVID, of course, with the flights and the travel being restricted. So it forced me to think outside the box and pivot as I needed to do. The model of the business that as I develop, I'm fairly new. So knowing that I was still in my first year, I developed it knowing that it may not be full time right away. So I kind of had that flexibility, and I'm grateful for that. So a lot of the contracts got pushed or canceled completely. I was grateful enough to um, be able to work with Ty and B and with some operators to kind of help them also work through all the challenges of COVID with the applications and with reopening and criteria and everything that's required. So I'm lucky that I'm still able to work in the industry and in that field, but also in planning. So what this has done is given me the blessing of time. So instead of being crazy busy and trying to work on things as we're in June, I mean, right now we would be going full tilt regardless. So it kind of slowed us down a little bit and gave me the chance to sit back and build more packages, reconnect with some tour operators, make sure that everything's ready to go so that as soon as those borders open, we're ready. So with COVID, it really did force me to take that time and sit back and really just enhance what I was doing. I had a chance to go through all of my procedures in the office to make sure everything was lined up properly, the price structure, everything was done, to reconnect with the suppliers and my partners to make sure, is there anything that we can do in the meantime? So some of that resulted in just having better products. We're better positioned for when things open up. So as I was explaining, the staycation format is something that has come about in the past 3-4 weeks. But because I spent the past couple months working on that, I already had 17 packages ready to roll. So I'm very fortunate like that, and I would recommend anybody who's not sure what to do in this slow time. Of course, work on your business. We've always wanted that time. Now we have it.
So yeah, and then for the traveler, you have those 17 packages. So I'm in New Brunswick. I don't know what to do this weekend. I can just go in and book it on your website. How does it work? And it's
Yeah,
really I find it for me. I saw your packaging. I was like, oh, this is so fun because I'm crazy busy during the week and I don't have necessarily the time to make plans and book
right.
things and stuff like that and make itineraries and making sure that my kids see what I want them to see.
Mm,
So by going with a package, it's really key in hand where
mm.
and I know I just like hop on and go. So how does
Abs-
it work?
Absolutely, and it's supporting local tourism. So these are all operators that we want to support anyway. So it's a really great way to go, and it's a one-stop shop. I'm also exploring the rest of the regions in New Brunswick, so don't feel like the southern part of the province is all we have, because I have several others that are already just in the final points of pricing, so they'll be up shortly. Um, but yeah, I mean, we have some really great things to do. You can do chocolate tasting in Shediac. You can go, have a lobster picnic for the whole family. There's fat biking in Funny National Park. There's different things that you can do that are really cool. I have them priced per person, but also packages for two. If you want that cool little getaway, sometimes they're 3, 4 days, depending on what you're looking for, but also some really great experiences as well. I have one that's specifically named Wear 'em Out package, because you've had the kids confined to the house for so long. Now's the time to go and get them out there, learn what our region's all about, and just to really kind of let them run out their energy. So we all know what that's about. I work with some great partners, so some of them I've developed for different operators in the region as well. Freedom Tours and Travel in St. John's, one of them, so they offer some of our packages. I have some online on Expedia and Viator, but every one of those is available through the website as well. So you just go on abconnect.ca and you can book them that way.
Um, so your experiences, have you decided to go on Airbnb experience, or so far have you stayed away from that? And why have you made either or choices?
Mhm. With Airbnb, I will be branching out there, but I'm working with some Airbnb operators, and the criteria for that website, it's a day trip only. So at the time, I was looking at multi-days because I was including the overnight lodging, really, especially now, are needing our support. So the multi-day trips, and it's kind of nice to get out of the house a little bit and to have a place to stay and package it that way. So it is I do multi days mostly, but I also have some great day trips. Understanding that currently, New Brunswickers, if you're doing a day trip, you're probably staying home. So I haven't focused on that right now, but I will eventually. But they only allow day trips because they work with their own Airbnb operators, and they package them together.
Excellent. So what's in it for AB Connect for this year and the following year?
Mhm. Well, think I'm kind of adapting as I go. So for to say that I know exactly what's going to roll out, I'm not sure, but I do have the plan in place to really build the travel in the area. So focusing on the Maritimes for sure. We have a great gem here, and it's I think working together is going to be key. Of course, I'm in New Brunswick, so I'm going to start with New Brunswick and expand from there, and have provincial offerings as well. So I just want to stay connected. I want to help if there's operators that need help in terms of how do I work travel trade? How do I build my products? How do I translate my website? These are all things that we can do. And I say we because I do have people that can help me if it's something that I'm already if I'm committed to another project. I do have a team in place that can help with that, as I'm leading all of the projects anyway. So I want to make sure nothing gets dropped. But I'm looking forward to things picking up again, of course, but picking up safely. As much as COVID has impacted my business 100%, and I've been pro tourism for years. Anybody knows me knows that I've pushed tourism like it's been part of my family and my world for over a decade. But we need to stay safe first, and the best that we can do to support our tourism industry is going to help us do that, so that we don't all fall down flat on our faces as we make it through here. We want to make sure that we survive through it, so that I'm hearing that 2021 is going to be a big year. So we need to be ready. So take this downtime to, I'm just kind of taking this to really make sure that I'm ready to go, that everything's lined up as I have been. So hopefully it's going to be busy in a different way, but busy nonetheless, so that we can all succeed.
That is awesome. Thank you so very much, Annick.
You're welcome. Thank you.